Hey everyone, just a quick update on the rock bouncer. I added some brass to the wheels now. I've got brass wheel weights. They came in the mail today and they're awesome. I did have to actually put them on with a C-clamp because they wouldn't press in properly. But one of the things I want to talk about tonight are these shocks. And when you put the flex blades on, they do, remember how we talked about how they'll sort of sit in an angle like this instead of the original vertical position. Well, they need to have as much vertical position as possible. So what I've done on mine is when I added these multi-mount suspension upgrade pieces, it spaced out the shock enough that it stood this back enough straight that there's no side load on the shock. If you get the shock so far sideways that it puts a side load on it, it's not going to flex as well as you think it might, or as well as it should. There's two ways to fix that, three ways actually. You could either get these multi-mount suspension upgrades, or if you're not going to get them, that's fine, but I would put a spacer in there, and I'd make it probably 2 or 3 millimeters just to get the top of the shock out away from the frame a little bit, since we've done that down here with the flex blade. So it just relieves side pressure on the shock, and you don't want that. The other thing you could do is just not screw the screw all the way in, and once it's in a ways, it doesn't need to stick all the way through. If it's coming through and you can see a few threads, a thread or two, once it's through, and it's not going to go anywhere. There's not that much pressure on these, so just do what you have to make sure that you don't side load the shock when it's just sitting still. The other thing is 3D printed parts are not quite as durable as these plastic molded parts that came with your truck, so you can easily tear the threads out of them if you over tighten it. And if you do tighten them in, once the flange on the screw here, top mount, touches this piece, I would stop. I wouldn't crank it down. Cranking it down will just tear the threads out of them. So just a word of warning on that. I want you to be happy if you purchase those. And like I said, I'm not getting paid to do this, bring this to you. I'm just showing you what my experience has been, and I know how to kind of treat these so that they won't tear out very easily. And another thing is the least you disturb these screws, these holes, the better. So find what you like and run with it. It's your truck, you can do what you want, but I would like to see eventually the flex blades on the bottom be made out of brass, because that would be pretty cool. They don't have to be, but they would look cool, and they would add a little bit of weight down there, and I think people would suddenly have a different opinion maybe. But that's something we can talk about with the maker of these, and that's all I got for tonight. Hope it helps.